So with that, I'll let Samuel go ahead and start.
Okay. Thanks, Ashley. Can you guys hear me all right?
Mhm.
So here's my PowerPoint on being a Native American Fish and Wildlife Society Fisheries Intern by Samuel Chishili. A little about myself. My name is Samuel Chishili. My hometown is Crown Point, New Mexico. If you guys heard from social media a while ago, 2 days ago, I believe, Bear Sun came to our town and it caused a commotion. That was a big thing. Ethnicity, Native American. My tribe is Navajo. My education, I'm currently in my third year of college, and my major is biology. My minor is being a GIS, is in GIS. Experience. Being a Native American Fish and Wildlife Society intern has led me to learn many useful and valuable skills. Networking, reading material and internalizing it. Networking has been a very valuable skill for me where I wanted to learn more about the people and the presenters, such as at the SYP. That was a very cool experience where I got to know more people and learn more about them and the jobs that they held, and some of my supervisors and more about what they do and more about what they did for their job and their past careers. Gathering information / getting contacts for people. That was also a very valuable skill where I improved upon, where I just got to know more about the people and getting more about what the people do, such as getting their contact information, their titles, their positions, ways in which that we could help each other, and just learning more about what other people do from other career opportunities. Managing my time better. That has been something that I've always just not been very good at, where I didn't plan ahead much a lot of times, such as my first and second year in college, where I just went with the flow and that kind of just overtaken my schedule, where I had to sometimes just rush and get a project done before like the due date that was tomorrow. So managing my time better has also been a very valuable skill that I've improved upon in this internship, such as setting meetings, getting some work done getting work done before the due date, and just being on top of things most of the time. The position that I hold as an intern is very educational in terms of from an environmental standpoint, and learning more about other tribes' cultures, which I like very much. Responsibilities. My main goal as an intern is to support and shoulder the weight that is needed of me for the NAFWS staff. Assigned projects are the main bulk of my work, which can be researching tribal involvement, animal diseases that could affect humans, and knowing environmental acts. Projects that I've worked on throughout the summer internship. The IWISH survey. The IWISH is a fish network which aims to facilitate the exchange of the cultural and traditional knowledge of fish, fisheries, and rivers between indigenous people and Western scientists to improve fisheries management and conservation of aquatic systems. And I've been working with my supervisor to create a survey for the IWISH where we would ask questions, which would then be sent. While we make a survey, then that survey would have questions in it, which would then be sent out to many tribes throughout the nation. We're nearly complete with that, just a few here and there, and then it will be sent out. The SWAP researching. The SWAP is an abbreviation of State Wildlife Action Plan, which examines the health of wildlife and prescribes actions to conserve wildlife and vital habitat before they become more rare and more costly to protect. I researched the swaps, the state swaps, where it would one of the rules of the swap is to include federally recognized state tribes, in which that the so that the swap wouldn't conflict with tribal values. So I've been researching which state swaps coordinated with their tribes, and it's been kind of disappointing a little bit to see that not as many states have been involved with their tribes as much as I would like to see, which is a little disappointing, I would say. But overall, I would say that most of the states have coordinated and communicated with their tribes. The SYP program, which was a very big thing that happened a few weeks ago, the summer youth curriculum, where we gathered many students, high school students from the nation, who all come from different tribes, and we helped them learn more about tribes and more about just what they could do with their future, such as like college opportunities, career pathways, as well as just learning more just about other people's careers. Researching of animal diseases, I've learned more about the CWD, which is chronic wasting disease, and WNS, white nose syndrome. Chronic wasting disease is a disease that mainly affects deer species, such as deer and elk. Those are the main ones, are one of the main ones who are affected by it. The disease mainly affects the spine and brain of a deer, where the disease doesn't messes up the process of making the proteins for the spine and brain. So their spine and brain kind of degenerate, or just they just don't work over time, I would say. And the symptoms don't show up for over a year. It could be a year until someone knows that before someone knows that the disease isn't within the deer, which is kind of scary, because it's possible. It's been speculated that the CWD could be transferred from deer to human if a human were to eat a deer with CWD, and the tainted meat could then be processed and it could then be transferred to a human. Then white nose syndrome is a disease, or it's a syndrome which affects bats, where mold gets onto a bat's nose, and then the mold then would overtake the bat, and then the bat would ultimately die. There's no plan or vaccine or medicine to really treat it. We just had to be careful and not to spreading the mold around more, and then just hope for the best, basically, that it does spread more for the best. And learning about environmental acts. I've researched about Invasive Species Act and the Endangered Species Act, which I didn't know existed, but some of my supervisors recommended me to research more about the acts, and I'm glad there's just protections for animals and basically for invasive species not to basically derail the whole habitat. And my growth. Throughout the Native American Fish and Wildlife Society internship, I have learned and seen many new things that I don't think I would have without the internship. I've gotten better at managing what I need to do and what needs to be done, putting time aside for what's important, and becoming more confident in my ability to converse with people and improving my networking skills. I would highly recommend people to apply to internships and programs that Native American Fish and Wildlife Society provides, because there are many opportunities for people who get involved. That's my PowerPoint. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Sam. That was a good PowerPoint presentation. And sorry, let me see. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule, which is fine. We'll have Mathis, our last intern, kind of come in and finish this up, and then we'll just have more time for questions and for discussion. And again, also, I just want to mention that we do have a fourth intern. Her name is Tamara Jones. She couldn't join us today because she has a new baby. She's from Alaska, and she goes to University of Alaska, Fairbanks. So she wasn't able to join us today, but again, just keep her in your prayers and in your thoughts as she navigates being a new mom. And again, thank you, Samuel. You did a really great job and continue to do a great job. And